This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So I hope what are the things which we have discussed in the past 15 days, it is clear to everyone. So what are the things we have discussed in yesterday? What is the concept? Yes. Okay, regular expressions. Okay, so what is the module available for regular expressions in Python? What is the module we have used yesterday for using the regular expression concept? Okay, RE. RE is the module which is constructed for using the regular expressions things inside the Python. Okay. So what are the inside the RE method? What are the methods we have discussed? So we have discussed only few methods. Depending upon our requirement, so you can explore the numbering methods. So what are the methods I have discussed yesterday? First, I have started with the find all. Next, yes, good. Sub. So what is the purpose of sub method? What is the purpose of sub method? Sub and sub n. Sub. What is the purpose of sub method or sub n? Yes, good. Okay. So replace the pattern with the requirement request. Replace. Simple replace. Okay, number of replacing characters. So here pattern, what are the pattern matches in the string, automatically those all things will be replaced. Okay, for example, if I want to replace every number with a particular string, so simply I have to iterate over the each and every character inside the string. I need to verify that particular character is digit or not, and I have to replace it. Okay? Instead of using all those conditions, what I can do, simply I can use this sub. What is the final method? I have also discussed about the match. Okay, match method matches the particular pattern from the starting of the string. Okay, it will checks from the starting. Okay, it can't verify in the middle or ending of the ending, so it will check the pattern from the start. Those are the methods. There are also other methods like group, find iterator. Okay, you can you can explore those things depending on the format, our situation or requirement. Okay, so today we can see like a few more things which we can end with the main concepts in the Python. Okay, uh, like till Friday so till files concept, those concepts comes under the general purpose programming language. Okay, so general purpose programming language. So I hope you know that Python is a general purpose programming language. Okay, so general purpose programming is language is nothing but so whenever you are learning a programming language, it can be Java, C, or C++, or C hash, or Perl, or any of the programming language. So you will be learning about how to declare a variable, okay, how to use the conditional statements, how to use the loops, what are the data types available, okay, how to use the functions, how to handle the files. Okay, so yeah, like what are the concepts which I have discussed till files, those all concepts comes under the general purpose programming language. Okay, so while you are learning any of the programming language, you will learn all of those concepts, but the syntax will be the different. Okay, the syntax will be different, data types will be different after files. Okay, after files we have discussed, I think, regular expressions or panda like modules and packages. Some different different programming languages declare differently modules and packages. Maybe that also comes under the general purpose programming language. So while coming to the regular expression, so regular expression like not in every programming language regular expression is available. Okay, so those comes under the some advanced concepts or other concepts. Okay, so regular expressions have only in few different programming language like Perl. Okay, so like Perl, I think I know only the Perl programming language as well as the Python. Okay, so these are the two languages having the regular expressions. While coming to the today, what are the things we are discussing today? So like comprehensions or lambda or generators, these are also the concepts which are beyond the general purpose programming language. Okay, so let us discuss about today's objectives. So we will be seeing one more concept called functional programming. Functional programming or comprehensions. Okay, it is also one way of declaring the lists or dictionaries. It is also one way of declaring the lists and dictionaries. Okay, so functional programming or comprehensions. Okay, so next we can see one of the type of function is nothing but the anonymous function or lambda function. Okay, lambda function. Next we can see one more concept like iterator and generator. Okay, those are the two different concepts, iterator and generators. So like we have seen what is the meant by the iterators. Okay, like string is an iterator or nothing but the tuple is an iterator. Okay, set is an iterator, dictionary is an iterator. Okay, so if we want to create our own iterators, we will be seeing something called iterators. Okay, then we can see the generator and purpose of those generators. Next we can see the few different types of functions like map, filter. Okay, map and filter. Map is used for mapping all the elements to the required function. So map. Okay, we can see, and then we can see the filter. How we can filter the elements inside the list or tuple. Okay, if you want to filter some things based on some condition. Okay, instead of building our condition, so we have seen this. We have like what are the things we are discussing today? We have seen a different way. Okay, till yesterday we have used those things in different way. Okay, we have defined our own things and we have declared our own things. But what are the things we are doing like discussing today will be somewhat different or nothing but the somewhat advanced things which we have discussed, which we are discussing today. Okay, first thing is the functional programming or comprehension. I hope most of you heard about the list comprehension, dictionary comprehension. Okay, so next thing is a lambda function, is also called as a nameless function because it is not having any name, or also called as the anonymous function. Anonymous function. Yes, reduce also similar to the filter. Okay, so like okay, let us see also reduce. Okay, so anonymous, so lambda function or anonymous function, nameless function. Okay, because it is not having any of the name. Let us see while declaring all those things. Once we have used the lambda, in which concept we have used the lambda? Anyone remember? Previous day at some point of time I have used something called lambda keyword. I have told you that, I will explain afterwards. Did anyone remember? Okay, we have seen lambda while using the list. Yes, operating with multi-dimensional matrix. Yes, operating with multi-dimensional matrix. Okay. Okay, so we have seen in sorted method. Okay, in sorted method, if I want to sort the multi-dimensional list, if I want to sort based on the second element or third element or fourth element, in those cases we are having one of the argument called key inside the sort method for the list. Okay, so based on the key argument, the sorting will be done. Okay, so today we can see the clearly about how to declare the lambda function or nameless function or anonymous function. Okay, it is having same names. Okay, so let us start with some functional programming. It is also called as. Okay, functional programming. So first thing, there are having two different types. So first is a list comprehension. List comprehension. Next thing is the dictionary. Okay, so if I use the tuple as the, so we will see, so what will be happening using the tuple comprehension, generators are generated. Okay, so I will discuss. I will discuss the tuple comprehension. Let us see what is happening. Set comprehension. All the containers. Okay, all the containers. Containers are nothing but which store the group of data. We can use them as the comprehensions. Okay, comprehension is before going to the comprehension. So like if you want to add if you want to insert 1 to 100 numbers into a list. Okay, if you want to insert 1 to 100 numbers into a list, what is the method I need to use for inserting the elements inside the list? What is the method available for the list for inserting a single element to the list? What is the method available for the list for inserting a single element inside the list? Yes. Yes. Good. Okay, what is the thing I need to do? If I want to, first of all, I need to declare an empty list. Okay, so based on yes, we are having few different methods also. Insert, append. Okay, insert is based on the index position values. So append is nothing but automatically it will be appended to the last position. Okay, mostly if I want to insert the new elements means for the empty list means definitely we have to use the append only, because insert takes the index positions. Okay, so mostly like we want to use the insert method. Okay, if we are working on the existing list, then we can use the insert. If I want to use the 100 elements, 100 numbers. Okay, if I want to use the 1 to 100 numbers, what is the starting value and what is the stop value? I need to insert 1 to 100 numbers or nothing but I want to iterate the for loop for 1 to 100. What is the starting value and stop value? Good. 1, 1. Excellent. Okay. Simply I have to iterate over the 1 to 1 at 1. Simply li dot append of. I have to append the li dot append of. Automatically, whenever the loop has been executed, automatically the elements will be inserted into the list. Good. Okay, so in how many lines I'm writing this particular program? So first of all, I'm declaring an empty list with a variable called li. Then I am writing a loop, and then I'm inserting the particular elements. Similarly, if I want to insert only the multiples of 3 from 1 to 100, if I want to insert the only the multiples of 3, what is the condition I need to include? I want to modify the range function. If I want to write only the multiples of 3 or nothing but or multiples of 3 and 5. If I want to insert the multiples of 3 and 2, let us take 3 and 2. What is the condition I need to write? Multiples of 3 and 2. Yes. Okay. So I have to check whether that particular number is, if I divided that particular number and if I got the remainder as the 0, then I can insert that particular thing into the my list. Okay. What is the thing I need to check? If I percentage 2. So here I'm taking now I'm taking as a 2 and 3. Okay, because 3 and 5 will have only few different elements like 15, 30, 45, 60, and only we are having only few elements. So that is I'm taking as the percentage 2 equal to 0. So multiples of 2 and 3, I'm taking multiples of 2 and 3. So I have to use the whatever the number is multiple of 2 as well as the whatever the number which is multiple of 3. Okay, I'm taking both the things. So I'm giving as a or I percentage 2. Okay, I hope you got the point. I'm taking the whatever the number is multiple of 2 and as well as the what is the number multiple of 3. Okay, if I print the elements, automatically all the multiples of 2 as well as the multiples of 3 will be inserted to my list. Okay, I'm having some group of numbers. Okay, so but in how many lines I'm writing this particular program? If I'm having a condition means I'm taking a 4 lines of code. If I'm writing, if I'm simply inserting the elements means without any conditions, I'm writing this particular program in 3 different lines of code. Okay, so if I want to reduce this number of lines of code, so what I can do is I can use the comprehension. Okay, comprehension is nothing but the writing our code in a simpler manner. It's not simpler manner. So like if new Python learners are need to understand that particular code, it is somewhat complicated. So if you are an experienced Python coder, then you can use the comprehensions. Okay, first we can see about the list comprehensions. The other way of writing a particular code. Okay, nothing but list comprehensions. Okay, other way of writing a code. So similarly, if I want to write the same code in other way, okay, if I want to write the same code in list comprehensions, means simply what I can do is the LI equal to inside the list I can directly write the loops. Okay, for I in range of 1, 101, and I need to insert each and every I element. Okay, so first step goes with the iterative variable for I iterative variable in the group of elements. Okay. So let me write the syntax here for ease of remembering. Okay, for the list comprehensions. So because list use the square brackets, so that is why so list comprehension is used inside the square brackets. Okay, square brackets iterative variable or iterative variable in group of elements. Okay, so this is the syntax for the using the list comprehensions. Okay, similar to like set comprehension or tuple comprehension. So simply the brackets will be different. Okay, so this is the thing. Simply if I executed and after executing, if I use the LI means automatically all the elements will be inserted. Okay, simply instead of writing those 3 lines of code, simply I can write in single line of code. Instead of declaring a particular variable as an empty list, instead of creating or the loop, instead of using the append method, directly I can insert all the elements inside the loop. This is the way of using a comprehension. Similarly, if I want to use the list of, if I want to create a list of lists, or otherwise, if I want to insert this every element inside a list, means simply I can use the list here. Okay, every element will be inserted inside a list. Okay, I can also use multiple loops. I can also create the conditional statements. Let us see. Okay, so what are the thing you are writing here? Not only for the iterative variable, not only iterative variable, you can also insert the stars for 100 times, depending upon your situation. So what is the inserting element? So let me delete it. Not only the iterative variable, whatever the element. So whatever the element you are interested to store inside the list, you have to put it there. For example, if I want to insert 1 to 100 numbers, so I am iterating over the loop, I am inserting the I here. Simply if I want to insert each and every element to the list, simply if I want to insert 1 to 100 numbers as the list of lists, then what I can do is the simply I have used the one more list and insert that I have packed the I variable. Okay, I have packed the I variable to a list and I have inserted to the list called Li. Automatically each and every element will be inserted to a list. Okay, not only that thing, if you want to insert 100, like if I want to create like a group of 100 group of elements, like with the star, automatically those elements will be automatically inserted inside the particular list. Okay, so what are the things we are writing in the like multiple lines? What are the logics we are building in multiple lines? So we can create in the single line itself. Okay, so if I want to implement the same conditional statement, for example, if I want to implement the same conditional statement, how I can write? Let us see. So LI. So if I want to insert only the multiples of 3 and 5. Okay, in that purpose, what I can do is the insert I or I in range of 1, 101. If I want to use only the one conditional statement, I have to insert at the ending position. If I percentage 2 equal to 0. Okay, if you want to insert only the even numbers, for example. Okay, so whenever this condition is true, automatically the element will be inserted. If this particular condition is false, means I can't insert the I value. Let us see what is happening. So for print Li. Okay, automatically until unless when whenever the conditional is executed, automatically those conditions will be inserted. Okay, for example, if I want to write a group of leap years. Okay, I can also include the multiple conditions inside the itself. Okay, so you can write any conditions depending upon your requirement. Okay, so what is the logic for implementing the leap year? I hope everyone remembered. If a particular year should be leap year, what is the condition? If you want to check from the 2002 to 3000, I want to get all the leap years between the 2000 to 3000. So what should be the condition? You can write in single way, no need to write complete. Simple answer. Yes. Year should be divisible by 4 and I should get the remainder as the 0. Yes. Yes, that year should be divisible by 400. Yes. Jagdish given the complete answer. Okay. The year should be divisible by 4 and it should not be divisible by 100. Okay. It should not be divisible by 100 and it can also be divisible by 400. That is the condition. I can include the multiple conditions, like multiple conditions inside the loop using the conditional statements. If, okay, if let me take it as the iterative variable as the year. Yes, good. Okay, let us take as the year. Okay, if year is divisible by 400. And if I got the remainder as the 0, then definitely that particular year is a leap year. Okay, so I should not check whether that particular year is divisible by 4 or not, because it will definitely, because if that year is divisible by 400, automatically that particular year will be divisible by 4. Or what is the other conditions? That year should be divisible by 4. As well as that year, if a year is divisible by 4 and it should not be divisible by 100. I can write in multiple conditions. Okay. Simple, automatically. So whenever this particular condition is true, this entire condition is true, then only the particular year will be inserted to the list. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. So from that 2000 to 3000, good. Okay, automatically whatever that particular leap years are available, automatically all the leap years will be inserted to my list. Okay, instead of appending, what I am doing here, simply writing inside the list. Okay, instead of appending, what I am doing here, simply writing inside the list. Okay, that is the. Okay, similarly, if I want to use the both the things, if and else, I can only use the two things, if and else. Okay, I can use only two things, if and else. Okay, so simply if I want to write it as the, if a particular number is in leap year, sorry, if a particular number is an odd even number, I need to insert the string as the odd. If that particular number is an even number, I need to write it as the even. For example, if that particular number is an even, I need to write as the even. If that particular number is an odd, else if that particular number is not an even number, I need to write it as the odd. Okay, if I want to use the two different conditions, I can use only two things, if and else. Okay, I can use only the if and else logic. I can't use the elif inside the list comprehensions. Okay, so how I can need to write is the if I percentage 2 equal to 0. Okay, if I percentage 2 equal to 0, then insert even, else. Okay, else insert the odd. Okay, else insert the odd. Okay, so if I want to use the if and else conditions inside the list comprehension, I have to write at the starting onwards. If a particular condition is true, then insert the even, else insert the odd. Okay, so whenever the number is even, automatically then the string even will be placed inside that thing. Whenever the particular number is odd, automatically it will be inserted as the odd. Okay, in this way you can also include the you can also include the conditional statement, if and else. Okay, so now let us see what are the other things we can do. So for example, if I want to, I can also use the outside functions. For example, let me For example, if I want to get the square of a particular number, okay, so I can also use the outside function also. Not while inserting a particular number, I can also get to the outside function also from the list comprehension. For example, if I'm creating a square function, it takes a number and it returns the I square, yeah, number square. Okay, simply I have created a function which takes a number as the input and it will return the square of a number. Okay, square of the number. It takes automatically a number. Yes. As I will discuss, we can use multiple loops, not only 2 loops. We can create 5 of tens of loops. Okay, inside the conditional statement also. After completing this thing, I will tell you how to use the multiple loops. Okay, simply what we can do. Let me take it as simple thing. Let me copy this thing. Okay, you can also access the external functions also. Okay, you can access also external function. Simply what I have to do, I have to call that function. How I can call square of it. Okay, it can also use the outside functions also, not only the thing. Okay, so if I pass a number means it will perform some operation. Whatever the thing it returns, it will automatically insert that particular list. Okay, so it's not only the single function. You can do any you can take a number from the particular list comprehension. You can do some operation. Whenever it returns to that particular list, it will automatically save inside the list. Okay, so you can also, like, if I want to, for example, okay, so here I want to like, if I want to, here I can let us define it 2 different function, cube of squared. Okay, what is happening, what I need to do calculation is nothing but the, so I want to cube a square number. There is a number, I need to square that particular number. Then after squaring that particular number, I want to calculate the cube and I need to store. Okay, what is the thing I need to do? So let me define it. Wait a second. So I need to cube a number which is the square of a particular number. Okay, Jagdish. Okay, so here what I need to do is I want to cube a number which is square of a number. Okay, I need to do, what is the thing I need to do is nothing but I need to cube a number which is the square of that particular number. In that purpose, I'm creating two different functions, cube of squared. It takes the square of a particular number and it returns the cube of that particular square number. Okay, what is the thing I need to do here? So from the squared function, I need to return this to the cube. Okay, inside the square function, what we need to do? I need to return the cube of a particular number. Okay, so whenever I call the square function, it will automatically call the cube function, which is the square number, and it returns to this particular function. It calculates the square, then it returns to this particular number and return to the main function. Okay, the similar thing what I am doing here, I want to calculate the cube of the square of a particular number. Okay, here numbers are nothing but the 1 to 100. Okay, let us take as the 1 to 100. Simply instead of square, again I am taking as the square. Automatically, it will, whatever the number it is returning to the square function, it will calculate the square first, and it will also calculate the cube, and it will return to the particular function. Okay, 1 square is 1, 1 cube is also 1. 2 square is nothing but the 4, 4 cube is nothing but the 64. Okay, so 3 square is nothing but the 9, 9 cube is nothing but the 729. Yes, we can also write in that format also. Yes, we can also write in that format also. Let me write in other way. Direct, instead of calling the square function, star 2, what it will be happening is the square of. I need to calculate the square of. And we use cube of square of I. So here I cube of square of I returns the. Yes, we can also write in that format while calling itself. You are saying while calling itself. Okay. So here I need to remove the cube first. If I remove the cube here, then I can write like in that format. Okay, so let me write in that format. You will understand clearly. Okay, it will return the square of a number. Square will return the square of a number. Cube will return the cube of a number. Here what I can do is the cube of square of I. Okay, whenever I pass in a number to the square, automatically it will calculate the square and it returns a value. Then whenever I send a value to the cube, it returns the cube of that particular value. Both are the same. Both gives me the same output. Okay, I hope few of you are trying. Okay, you can write in many ways. Okay, you can write you can declare multiple functions. It can do multiple operations. Whenever all the operations are written, you can insert into a list. Okay, now we can say how to use the multiple loops. For example, if I want to insert 1 to 5 numbers, if I want to insert 1 to 5 numbers into a list as a file list, okay, I have to create a list. Okay, a list of lists. Each list should contain 1 to 5 numbers. Okay, so each list should contain 1 to 5 numbers. For example, okay, I should be inserted as the list for I in range of I. Next for I in range of J, for J in range of I. Okay, so what will be happening is that this particular loop will be iterated for 5 times. So whenever the first iteration completed, this iteration will be iterated for 5 times. Okay, so let me take it as the another list. As I said previously, insert a group of elements for list of lists. Okay, so I want to like here I have taken the 5. So if I want to insert a group of lists of 0 to 4 or nothing but if I want to insert 1 to 5 means simple I have to use the 1 to 6. Automatically I can use the list of lists. I can create any number of list of lists. Okay, for example, if I want to create a list of lists for 100 times, if I want to insert 1 to 5 as a list of 100 times, simply I have to iterate the over the loop for 100 times. Automatically. So for ease of showing, let me read this. Okay, 100 times this particular will be inserted. Okay, you can for patterns, or if you want to create a patterns inside the list, means you can simply use them. Otherwise, okay, so in the first list only 1 should be available. In the second list 2 should be available. In the third list 3 should be available. In the fourth list 4 should be available. Okay, okay. Now tell me the logic for getting. First list should be the 1 1 1 1 1 1. Second list should be 2 2 2 2 2 2. Third list should be 3 3 3 3. Fourth list should be 4 4 4 4. Fifth list should be 5 5 5 5. What is the logic I need to do and what is the logic I need to modify? I hope you got my point. So previously what happened is I have inserted 1 to 5 numbers. Okay, simply I have inserted 1 to 5 numbers for 5 times. Okay, in the first list, yes, good. Okay, instead of J, what I have to do, simply I have to insert the, instead of 5, simply I have to insert to the J, and I have to iterate over the, because I'm asking you to get the 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 3 3 3 3. So I have to change as the 6. Good, Prithvi. Okay, so automatically the value should be 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 3. Okay, you can also create multiple lists also. Okay, for example, list like inside the list again, each and every first list should be the 1 to you can create group of list. Okay, so you can increase one more list sorry, one more for loop. Okay, like this, if you want to create this group of list as the inside the 5 lists. Okay, this should be the 5 times. Okay, so you can also increase one more loop as a k. Automatically those elements will be inserted for the k times. Okay, let me show you that thing. Okay, you can use multiple lists also. For example, this thing should be repeated for 5 times. Okay, no need to use either colon, either indentation or anything. Okay, so this particular thing will be inserted for 5 times. 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, and 5 time. Okay, so depending upon your requirement, you can create the logic. Okay, you can also increase the list also. You can increase the loops. Also, you can write also, you can also include the condition for every loop. Okay, so you can write the conditional statement for each and every loop. For example, here I need to insert only for the even numbers. Okay, I need to iterate about this loop for only for odd numbers, nothing but the prime numbers. Okay, what are the conditions you are interested in? You can define your conditions for each and every for loop. Okay, so this way you can repeat this for multiple times. Where is that? You can repeat this entire if and else as well as the loop for multiple times. How many times you repeat? That many times based on your requirement. Is it clear to everyone? Please respond in the chat box. Is it clear to everyone till now? If anything I need to explain once again means I will try to explain that particular part. So if you are trying means I will give you wait for 5 seconds. Okay. Okay, in this way you can use the list comprehension based on the requirement. So what is the maximum thing you can use is the 2 conditional statements if and else. Loops are infinite. You can use any number of loops. Okay, not only 3 or 4 or 5. Like it doesn't extend for only for particular thing. You can create any number of lists inside one single bracket. From the list comprehension, you can directly call a particular function. Okay, you can directly call any number of functions based on your requirement. Okay, not only you can iterate about the numbers. Not only you can iterate about the numbers, you can also iterate about the strings. Okay, iterate variable doesn't only belongs to the particular thing. So for example, let us take the particular string. No. So inside the list comprehension, we can't assign a item assignment. It is not possible, Jagdish. We can't assign. Okay. So for example, there is a string called yes. So simply if you want to insert the uppercase characters inside the list. Okay, uppercase characters inside the list, then simply what I can do is I can iterate about the for so uppercase up equal to okay I for I in range of let's take a character for carrying yes. Okay, so what is the condition I need to check if I want to use the uppercase characters? What is the condition? What is the condition I need to check for the characters? It should be uppercase characters, capital alphabets. Okay, good. Is upper. Simply cat dot is upper. I need to use the if. Okay, another particular condition is to automatically the character will be inserted to the list called upper. Okay, these are the uppercase characters available inside the particular string called yes. Okay, so what are the iterators we have seen till now? We can use all those iterators inside the list. Okay, you can use dictionaries as the iterator here. Okay, group of elements. Okay, I have showed you the logic for the syntax for using the for loop. Okay, for iterative variable in group of elements. Those group of elements can be the numbers, strings, lists, okay, dictionaries, tuples, and sets, because those all are iterables. Okay, in this way you can use. Simply, if you want to use only the vowels, lowercase vowels. What is the condition I need to check? Lowercase vowels. I want to insert only the lowercase vowels. What is the thing I need to include here? Yes. Remaining, I want to get only the lowercase vowels. What is the condition? I got one answer. I'm expecting few more answers. Okay, if that particular character is available in the like lowercase group of vowels. Yes, good, sir. Lowercase vowels I am telling. Okay, simple lowercase vowels, which is nothing but the if carry a e I o u. Good, all the answers are correct. Okay, and okay, Nagamani, you have thought very much deeper. So here I am saying you that particular vowel is belongs to a e I o u only. So why I have included lowercase is nothing but I am testing. Okay, so no need to check whether that particular character is a lowercase or not, because if that particular character belongs to lowercase vowels, so nothing but that particular character belongs to this group of vowels, that automatically it is a lower as well as the vowel. Automatically all the vowels will be inserted into the particular list. Okay. For example, if you want to get all the vowels, not only uppercase or lowercase, there are different ways of writing that particular thing. Okay, so now give me the answer. If you want to get all the vowels, not only lowercase vowels, I need to insert uppercase vowels as well as the lowercase vowels. What is the condition I need to include? I need to include lowercase vowels as well as the uppercase vowels. Yes, good. Any other answers? Okay, that is the one possibility. Okay, in that case, in how many characters I am checking the membership? No swap case, Geetika. I can't use swap case. So here, if you observe here, if I use the capital AUIU or small AEIOU, automatically I'm checking about the 10 characters. If that particular character belongs to among that particular 10 characters, automatically I am inserting all those particular elements to the list. I think there are no uppercase vowels. Okay, all the lowercase vowels. Okay, so this is the one way of writing this particular logic. There is another way. So simply, so there are smaller case vowels and lowercase uppercase vowels are both the same. What I can do is I can convert this particular vowel to the lowercase or uppercase. Okay, I need both uppercase vowels as well as the lowercase vowels. For that purpose, what I can do is I can convert that particular to the lower, or I can convert to the upper, and I can check over the 5 vowels. Okay, previously it is checking over the 10 group of characters. Now what will be happening? I need to get both the characters. For that purpose, both are same. So what I'm doing here, simply I'm converting that either upper or lower, or I'm converting to the lower. I'm checking for the group of 5 characters. Both the logics gives me the same answer. Okay, you need to get that output. Is it upper or nothing but, which is nothing but the, is it upper or lower? Okay, you need to get an output which can be any of the case. In that case, what you can do is you can convert that to the one particular case and you can check the condition. That is the one of the best practice. Okay, either convert to upper or either convert to the lower. So if you are converting to the upper means you should check whether the a particular character belongs to the uppercase characters or not. In this case, only the 5 among the 5 characters only it is checking. We can reduce the number of iterations. Okay, in this way you can do using the list comprehensions. I hope it is clear to everyone. If anyone having any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, you can go for the dictionary comprehensions. Okay, similar to the list comprehensions, what are the things we have discussed? Everything can be applicable for the dictionary comprehension. How the data is stored inside the dictionary? How the data is stored inside the dictionary? Yes. Yes. Okay, the data is stored inside the format as the key and value pairs. Okay, you should have like whenever you are like you need to insert the data inside the dictionary as the key and value pairs. In that cases, you can use the dictionary as the data type. Okay. For example, if you want to create a dictionary. Okay, for example, you need to create a dictionary with the key as the key as let me show you. Let me create the actual program for inserting a key and dictionary. So I need to create a dictionary. Like now, give me the answer. Okay, create a dictionary. Okay, create a dictionary. Key as the number and value as the square of the number. Okay, of 1 to 100 numbers. Okay, so here in general, how I need to write this particular program? Can anyone help me? So first thing, definitely I need to use the loop for I in range of a number in range of 1, 101. If I want to insert a value inside the dictionary, okay, how I can write or how I can insert a value inside the dictionary? So the key should be the number, value should be the square of the number. Give me the output. Give me the logic. Yes. Any more? Yes, good. Okay, so dictionary of number equal to square of the number. Okay, don't forget these things. If it has some practice means it like you can remember all those things. Automatically the 100 numbers has been inserted as expected. Okay, I is the number as well as the like I is the number is the key. Dictionary of number equal to number square. Similarly, what is happening? 1 to 100 numbers, number is the key and value is the square of the number. Okay, if I want to convert this entire thing, so here also I have written in the three different lines. Simply I can convert this into the dictionary comprehensions. Okay, what is nothing but the so I dictionary equal to simple dictionary of I colon I square for I in range of 1, 101. Okay, this is the way of declaring an like a dictionary comprehension. So for I colon I square for I in range of 1 to 100. Okay, so what is the value I am inserted? If I want to insert a square, I can insert a square. If I want to insert something, for example, okay, for example, if I want to insert it as the okay, so if a number if the key is a number and value is the number plus 5. If key is the number and value is the number plus 5, automatically I can use that thing I plus 5. I can do anything. Okay, what will be happening here? So what is happened? So key is the number and value is the remaining number plus 5. For creating the dictionaries or list we are doing. So remaining things for using the dictionaries and list, if you are interested to do something, then you have to build the logic remaining things. Okay, the same things. What are the things we have discussed for the list comprehensions? All the things will be available. I can create the conditions. For example, let me take this thing. Okay. For example, I need to take only the even numbers. Insert the, I'm converting this thing, particular thing. So insert only the even numbers as the key as the even number, key as the even number, and value as the square of the odd number. Okay. Value as the square of the odd number. How I can do? Let me give the question. So create a dictionary. Okay. Key as the number and value as the square of previous number. Okay. So here what I need to do is that I need to add the key as the number and value as the square of the previous number. For that purpose, how I can build the logic? Can anyone help me? Key as the number and value as the square of the number, previous number. Let us take it as the, yes, let us now do like this. What is the modification I need to do? Good. Okay. So what I said, so key is the remaining the same. So the value should be, what is the value? The square of the previous number, which is not, previous is nothing but if it done subtracted one with the number means automatically I will be getting. Here I said only the previous number, which is nothing but the one. Okay, if I said previous two numbers means simply I minus 2. If I said previous 10 numbers means I minus 10. Good. Everyone given the correct answer. Okay. So what is the thing I need to do? So I need to subtract, automatically I will be getting the output. Okay. So everyone are parallelly trying, I hope. Okay, now we can see how to include a conditional statement. Okay, simply if I want to include, so for example, if I want to get the even number as the key and square of the even number as the value. Let me like take it the previous thing only. Okay, even number as the key and even number as the, sorry, square of the even number as the value. For that purpose, simply I can include the, it is the single condition. What I can do is the if. Okay, if I percentage 2 equal to 0, then automatically that particular number is an even. Then automatically this, what are the key and values I am inserting, those things will be inserted. Okay, key as the even number as value as the square of the even number. Key as the even number and value as the square of the even number. Okay, simply instead of that, simply if I want to insert the, if the particular number is an even number, I need to insert the value as the even. If the particular number is an odd number, simply I need to insert the particular value as the odd, which is nothing but I'm inserting one more condition. Previously what we have done, so we can do. Okay, if the particular number is an even number, simply insert as the even. Else insert the value as the number and odd. Okay, so here we can use the conditional statements on values only. So here key as the number and value as the, if that particular number is odd number, insert the value as the even. If that particular number is an even number, insert the value as the even. If the particular number is an odd number, insert the odd string. Simply. Okay, the key will be the same. So the key will be, what are the key we are inserting? The key, because the key is the constant value. Okay, if this condition is true, the same key will be inserted. If this condition is true, the odd value will be the odd. Okay. Is it clear to everyone till now? Okay, so I can also combine the list comprehensions as well as the dictionary comprehension. Okay. So for example, I need to create a dictionary. If I need to create a dictionary, key as the number and value as the value as nothing but the value should be the list, which is nothing but the from the group of numbers. Okay, let me show you a sample. I need to create a dictionary. Okay, key should be the number and value should be the till that number. Okay, value should be the till that number, which is nothing but the from 1 to 1 that particular number. Okay, I need to create the second part 2, and I need to in the second dictionary I need to get the 1 and 2. Okay, 3 and the value as the 1, 2, 3. Key as the 4 and values as the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5 and value as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, till 100. Okay, how I need to write this particular program? Can anyone help me? So what is the modification I need to do in this particular program for getting this particular format? Don't give the complete thing. So what is the main part? Give me. Colon I. If the list is previously created means I can use the colon I. If there is a list which is having 100 numbers. Okay, if there is a one single list which is having the 100 numbers, I can use the colon I. Good, that is one of the way. Okay, I will also try that. Okay, any other answers? Yes, Saranteja given one answer, correct? Yes. That's Jagdish, good. Okay, what is the thing I need to do? See, keys, I need to give the key as the key, same key. Sorry, key as the number and value should be the, I'm saving it as the list. I can use the simple list comprehension. So I'm here, I'm inserting group of numbers into a list. If you observe here, I'm inserting group of numbers into a list. Okay, for that purpose, simply I can use the list comprehension for I in range of, let me take it as the number. For number in range of, okay, for number in range of I comma I plus 1. Okay, I'm iterating from I, which is nothing but I is nothing but the 1. So here the second part is an excluded because I need to get for the 3, I need to get the 3. But if I use the simple I means, so what will be happening? So it should be started from 1 and it should be ended with the I plus 1. Okay, so I plus 1. Simple, I can insert, I can get my previous 3. Okay, for that 12 I have inserted the 12 elements, for the 13 I have inserted. So maybe it will not be helpful for anything, for like simple of how to build the logics, I'm taking this type of problems. Okay, simple, if I want to insert that many stars. Okay, instead of the numbers, if I want to that many stars means simply what I can do, so star. Okay, for the 1 I have inserted 1 star, for the 2 I have inserted the 2 stars, for the 3 I have inserted the 3 stars. Okay, for the 100 I have inserted 100 stars in the list. Okay, you can see the difference now. So 3 stars, for the 4 stars, for the 5 stars, for the 6 stars. Vice versa, it has been increasing. For the 100 it has been inserted the 100 stars. Okay. Simple, you can use the multiple, you can also use the multiple loops also. Okay, depending upon your situation, you can also use the multiple loops inside that. Okay, this is the one way, but so this loop, how many times this for loop is created? How many times this for loop is executed? Can anyone say? How many times that for loop is executing? So not complete way. Simply give me the how many times this for loop will be executed. Or otherwise, how many times this list will be executed? Simple. The for loop will be executed for lot many times. How many times? I times. I times. I times is nothing but the I times is nothing but 100 times. 100 times this loop is executed and the elements is the elements will be inserted directly inside the list. Okay, 100 times this loop is iterated. If you observe here, so for the in the 100 times it has been executed for 100 times. In the 90th time it has been executed for 99 times. For the 90th time it has been executed for 98 times. Okay, this for loop, if you observe here, this loop for loop has been iterated for the first time it has been iterated for 1 time. For the second time it has been executed for 2 times, total of 3 times. For the third time it has been executed for 3 times, total of 6 times, which is nothing but the 100 factorial. Okay, with 100 in 100th iteration, 100 times it has been executed. In the 99th iteration, 99 times has been executed, which is nothing but the 100 factorial. Okay, 100 factorial is nothing but if I said how many times this particular loop has been executed is nothing but the 100 factorial. So I think you have remembered from the math we are having the factorial. Okay, these many times. Okay, you remember like this many times this loop has been executed. I think 99 plus, I think not factorial, 99 plus 100 plus 98 plus 98 plus, it is nothing but 10 into 10 plus 1, 100 into 100 plus 1. Sum of the numbers, I think this is the formula. Okay, 10,000 100 times has been created. Okay, 10,000 100 times this particular loop has been created. Okay, so as previously our friend said that like what I can do is simply outside I can create a loop. I can create a list of 100 numbers. Okay, previously, so if you observe here, this particular loop has been iterated for 10,000 100 times for inserting every time. I hope you understanding, everyone understanding what I am saying. Okay, what I am trying to say. Okay, instead of that, what I can do is the outside I can create a loop. Okay, outside I can create a loop. Okay, which is having the 1 to 100 numbers. So here, what I am saying here, every time insert I numbers. Every time insert I numbers for the 100 times. So let me create it as the one. Okay, simply what I can do is here nothing but the so simply li of comma colon I plus 1. Okay, I numbers automatically insert the first I numbers from the list. Okay, insert the first I numbers from the list. It will also give me the same output. Okay, so here from the list I am extracting the data. Here I am extracting from the existing list. So maybe like the indexing will be executed, not the loop. So compared to the previous one, it is somewhat compared to the previous one, it is the lesser cost to execute. The previous thing isn't like it is iterating over 110 times, 10,000 100 times, which is nothing but the if one iteration goes for 1 second, it has been executing for 10,000 100 seconds. For example, not seconds, it will execute between the milliseconds to the microsecond. For example, 10,000 1 seconds. So here, so maybe for indexing, it takes a lot less time. Like let us take as the 1/4 second. Okay? So this is the one of the best practice. Okay, while building the things, you should you should keep in mind of everything like memory complexity or time complexity and all those things. Okay, is it clear to everyone? So both the things gives the same output. Okay, depending upon our situation or depending upon how you are building the logic, you can use the things. Okay, so you can use multiple loops or multiple conditional statements inside the particular dictionary comprehensions or list comprehensions. So let me go with the further. I hope you got my point. Okay, for example, if like I hope everyone remember what is the purpose of set. Previously I have created a particular string. Previously I have created a string called yes. Now if you want to insert the unique character from the set, simply what I can do is the for character in yes, whatever the it will be automatically inserting the 1 to 100 numbers. I hope everyone remembered how to insert the elements to the set. Okay, I hope everyone remember how to insert elements to the set using the add method. Okay, instead of using the add method, what I have done is the set comprehension automatically. All the characters will be inserted. Yes, good, good Jagdish. All the characters will be inserted. So because after executing the set piece, so set is used for only for like gathering the unique characters. Okay, what happened is nothing but all the duplicates will be eliminated. Only the unique characters will be inserted inside the set. Okay, similar to what are the things which we have discussed to previously. You can use multiple loops, multiple conditional statements, and all those things. Okay, simply if you want to get only the uppercase character or nothing but the only the numbers, and I want to get the unique numbers as well as the characters. I want to get only the unique numbers and characters. What is the condition I need to do here? Instead of special characters, I got special characters, comma, slash, colon, space, dot, closure parenthesis, and all those things. I need to get only the alphabets and numbers. What is the condition I need to check? Yes, Saran, is good. Remaining. I need to get only the uppercase characters, lowercase characters, as well as the numbers. Yes, is alarm. Good. If char dot is alarm, automatically only the unique character will be AL and UL. Automatically unique, only the alphabets will be inserted. Let me. Okay, only numbers. So similarly, what are the things which we had discussed previously? If you understand means we can use all those things. Okay, conditional statements, multiple loops. Okay, multiple conditional statements, or you can use over the like you can get over the you can use multiple is created, you can create multiple is inserted, and all those things. Okay, is it clear to our comprehension still now? Comprehension. So I will discuss the tuple comprehension after discussing one more concept. So tuple comprehension create a generator. Let us do that thing also. So tuple comprehension, let us create, if I want to create a tuple of 1 to 100 numbers. So I for I in range of 101. 1, 101. It will automatically insert the elements to the tuple, but it is created as the generator object. Okay, generator object. We can see while after discussing the generator concept, what is the purpose of generator and all those things. Is it clear to everyone? Till now comprehensions, how to use the comprehension, the purpose of the comprehension. So like it is not an easy thing because we are writing everything in a single line. You should be very keen up while writing. You should understand when to like how the loops are executing, when that particular condition is executing, when the loop will be executing. Okay, so if it is clear, means we can go with the remaining part. I have got one response remaining. Okay. Okay, now we can see one more one of the type of function called a nameless function. Okay, nameless function or anonymous function or lambda function. So why it is called as the lambda function is nothing but the function is created using lambda. So if I want to use, if I want to create the function, user defined function, what is the keyword I need to use? If you want to create a user defined function, what is the keyword? Yes. Definitely def I need to use for creating a keyword, for creating a function. Okay, which is nothing but the def. Sorry, def, not def. Def. So function name, arguments. It is having some written depending upon the logic. We have to write the block of code. After completing that, simply return the something. I think I have discussed it. I didn't discuss about something called pass. Pass is the keyword which is nothing but if you want to define an empty function, if you want to define empty for loop, empty loops, empty conditional statements, if you want to define empty functions, in that case you can use the pass as the keyword. Okay, so which is nothing but so you are creating an empty function. You know, like for now you are not interested to write any of the things inside the function. Okay, after building some application, simply you are defining a function. Okay, here we are defining a function. You didn't write any of the logic. In that case, you can simply write it as the pass. Pass is nothing but the pass the execution. Simply if I keep this as the empty, if I execute it means I will be getting an error called syntax error. Okay, if I use the pass means pass, simple. Okay, so I hope in the quizzes we will be using the pass the question. Skipping. Okay, so what I am doing is that whenever I have written the pass means skip the execution of the thing. It can be loop, it can be conditional statement, or it can be function. Okay, so this is the way of defining a function as a user defined function normally. Okay, it is having a name. What is the name here? Name is nothing but the function name. Okay, if I want to create a lambda function means how I can do is the which is nothing but I can create as the variables. Okay, instead of writing these things, so what I have done, so if I want to create a square function, want to create a square of a function taking some argumentable number and it is returning the square of the number. It is returning the square of the number. Okay, how many lines I am writing here? Similarly, see I am writing in. So here pass is nothing but the pass the execution of the thing. Okay, so here I am passing. So if I'm what are the things I'm writing below? So for example, if I'm writing the hello world. Okay, it will not be whenever I call the function call fun name, it will not be executed. Okay, so let me sorry. Okay, so what are the things I have written in the between? Those all things will be passed. Okay, if I want to declare an empty loops, if I want to declare an empty functions, if I want to declare anything, means I can use the pass. Yes, skipping the execution of the code. Simple. Like break is nothing but the termination of the loop. Continue is nothing but the skip that particular iteration. Okay, it is only skipping the particular iteration. Pass is nothing but the skip the group of code. While using conditional statements in all those cases, we will be using the pass. Okay, so mostly like during while giving the creating an assignments for the students or for creating the for creating the assignments. Okay, I will be defining some part of code. You need to define the remaining answer. Okay, I'm giving a question while defining a particular function. You need to complete that particular function. Okay, for question and answers like quizzes and all those cases, we will be using the pass. Okay, mostly in the development environment. Like if I am the senior developer, you are the junior developer, I will be giving it one single task. In that case, what I can do is I can simply create the some part of code. So for the without getting an error, I can simply use the pass there. Okay, the remaining code as a junior developer you need to complete. In those cases, we will be using the pass. Mostly like in most of the we will not be using the pass keyword. Okay. So here if I created a particular function as the square means what is it taking? It is taking one single argument. It is returning the square of the number. So here I have written this thing in the two different lines. I have used the keyword def, I have used the keyword return, and I have created a number. It is taken. Okay. So if I want to create the same function is not using the lambda function. So I can take any of the variable name. Variable name is called to lambda. Lambda is the keyword here. So how many arguments it is taking? It is taking one argument. And it is returning the square of the number. Okay, so it is taking multiple arguments. Okay, it is taking it can take multiple arguments, not only single argument, but we can perform only the one operation. Okay, we can perform the operation between all the arguments or any of the arguments. So we will be using the lambda functions if we want to perform only the single operation on the arguments. Okay, let us see what are the other ways also. Okay, so the same the things. Okay, print of square of 5 or simply print of sq of 5. Both gives the same output. Okay, mostly when we will be using the lambda functions is nothing but if we were performing only single operation on all the arguments. If we are performing only single argument on all the operations in the sort method, what we have done, we are taking one thing as the list, okay, and we are taking as the one single element. Based on that single element, we are sorting the entire sorting. We are sorting entire list. Okay, so it takes one argument. It can also take the multiple arguments. For example, if I want to calculate the multiplication of two numbers, okay, multiplication of two numbers, which is nothing but the a comma b, or for example, a plus b whole square. For example, if I want to calculate the a plus b whole square, what is the thing? It takes two arguments. Here I need to calculate the a plus b whole square. Okay, a square plus b square plus 2ab. Okay, what is the thing I can do? What are the number I have passed? It is taken two arguments. Definitely I need to pass the two arguments, 5 comma 5. It will calculate the a plus b whole square. I hope 5 plus 5 is nothing but 10, 10 square is nothing but 100. Okay, I can perform only the single logic. I can't do the multiple logic. I can assign the values also. That is the thing I am doing here. So I am taking two arguments. I didn't use any of the def keyword. For returning the data, I didn't use the return. Automatically it will return the what are the output it is calculated. Okay, so it takes two arguments and it is calculating a plus b whole square. Okay, simply you can write any of the logic. Okay, how much length it is, you can also write. That is the purpose of lambda anonymous function. Is it clear to everyone how to use the lambda function? Or do I need to take few more, like we will be taking few more examples. For example, from the group of characters. Is it clear or not how to use the lambda function? Factor of a number. So we can't calculate the factor of a number because we are iterating about the for loop. We can't create the factorial function using the lambda. Okay, so because like we are doing some other operations. Okay, Remy, is it clear or not, so that I can continue to the next part? It takes in multiple infinite arguments and it will perform only single operation. That is the purpose of lambda or anonymous function or nameless function. If you observe here, it is not having any of the name. Okay, now let us go to the next part. Inside the lambda function, we can't use the loops. Inside the lambda function, we can't create the loops. For example, I can inside the lambda function, I can't use the loops, but inside the loops, I can use the lambda function. For example, I want to calculate the for I in range of 1, 101. If I want to calculate the a plus b whole square for each and every one number to the next number. Okay, so which is nothing but the yes, in that way I can use Jagdish. I can use all the functions inside the lambda function also. Okay. For example, if I want to create the multiplication of two numbers, I comma I plus 1. I comma I plus 1, simply I can calculate. Mal comma I plus 1. Okay. So like that is the one of the possibility. If I want to create my own different function using the loop, means I can't use. Good Jagdish. Okay. So when of the particular function, the two arguments I have passed I comma I plus 1, I will be getting the I plus 1 whole square. Okay, in that way. Any other doubts? Okay, I can use the functions inside the lambda function. I can use the other function inside the lambda function. For example, so previously I have created a function called square. Previously I have created a function called square. Instead of from the lambda function, nothing but the sq equal to. Previously I have created a function called sq. Let me create as the sq1. Okay, so lambda of a colon sq of a. Okay, so what is taking? It is taking one number. It is calculating the square of the number. So here, instead of writing directly logic, I have taken the other function. Okay, which is the previously I have defined. It is calling to this particular function. It is taking one number and it is returning the square of the number. Simple. So for like different cases, I am taking sq of 5. Automatically it returns the square of the number. What is happening here? So this function is calling this particular function. This function is calling the previously defined function. Okay, if I want to calculate the factorial of the particular number, yes, good. So, but if another function I can create for calculating the factorial, and it is returning to the lambda function. So, what are the value it is returning? It is returning to the main value, main program. Okay, so that is the way. So now we can see one more function called map. So while attending some competitive exams, map is the one of the helpful function. Okay, map is one of the helpful function. For example, if I'm giving an input to the space separated integers. Okay, if I'm giving an input called space separated integers, let me take it. Let me execute once again. Okay, so if you observe here, I hope everyone remembered, if I'm taking an input from the user, means automatically every input is taken as the string. Okay, what I have done. So most of the competitive exams, you will be getting an input in this format. Okay, for example, I'm taking the 1 to 10 numbers from the user. Now I need to calculate the sum of the 10 numbers. I need to calculate total sum of the 10 numbers, which is nothing but 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus and so on 10. What is the thing I need to do? Can anyone help me? If you familiar with the map, means don't tell me about the map. For now, as a general programmer, till now what are the concepts you have learned? By from that concepts, if you want to calculate the sum of these 10 numbers, what is the thing I need to do? First convert to list, good. How I can convert that to the list? Yes, split. Excellent. Okay, simply what I can do, so li equal to inp dot split. Then now I have got the what are the integers are available. Automatically all those integers has been separated. Next, what is the thing I need to do for calculating the sum of the numbers? So what are the things I need to use for calculating the sum of those numbers? Sum equal to int of input. So here INP is a list here. So sorry, INP is a string here. I have splitted and I have inserted to the variable called li. So sum equal to int of li. Good. Okay. Any other answers? So here, what is the thing I need to do here? I need to iterate about the first of all, I need to create a variable called s equal to 0. Then I need to iterate about the iterate loop for I in li. Simply I need to add to the s plus I. If I use the s plus I, what will be happening? Let us see. So here, what is the data type of s? Sorry, I need to take as the none. Let us take as the none. Okay, so now let us take as the empty. Okay, so here what is the data type of the I here? Automatically it is the data type of string here. I can't use the addition for the, I can't calculate the addition, I can't add the directly. So what is the thing I need to do? Good Jagdish. First of all, I need to declare an empty string. So after whenever I need to convert that particular to the integer. Okay, let me complete this particular thing, entire program. What is the thing I need to do here? First of all, I need to take the input. I need to take the input from the user, then I need to split the input. Okay, I need to create one more variable, split the input. Then what is the thing? I need to use the loop, and I need to convert the each and everything inside the loop. So I need to use those things. Sorry, IMP got split. Okay, the total the sum of the numbers is a 55. Okay, so what is the thing we have done? So we have done something called, first of all, we have taken the input from the user, then we have converted to the split, and we have mapped each and every input. Okay, we have mapped each and every input to the integer, then we have added to the particular variable called yes. Okay, so if I use the same thing, okay, so for that purpose we are having something called map function, so which is nothing but the map. Okay, map takes two argument, which is nothing but the function. Which function we need to map the elements. So next thing is the sequence of object. Sequence of data are nothing but the group of data which is nothing but the list string. Okay, list string tuple. Okay, dictionary set, we can pass anything. Okay, so let us see what is happening. So map returns map object. Okay, map returns map object, we can convert that to any of the list. Okay, it returns map object. Okay, so after getting the map object, we can convert it to the list or tuple depending on our request situation. Set. Okay, so it takes sequence of data, so it will match each and every single data group of data. Let's take as the group of data, sequence of data, anything. Okay. It maps all the elements inside the sequence to the function. Okay, for example, okay, if you want to convert each and every number to the integers, if you want to convert while taking the input, if I want to convert each and every number to the integers, automatically what I can do is the map of. Okay, what is the thing I need to convert? Integers. I need to convert each and everything to the integers. So what is the group of numbers here? So input. How the input is available? Input is available in the string. So whatever the input I have taken, automatically I will be splitting. Okay, I am splitting each and every number. Sorry, I am splitting whatever the string I have got as the input, and I am mapping to the integers. Now let us see. So map returns and map object. Let us see what is happening. So let us see. Okay, map returns map object. If I want to convert that particular map to the list of map li, automatically whatever the elements are available, all are the integers, so I can directly use the sum. Okay, I have got as a 55. Okay, instead of writing these many lines, simply instead of writing these many lines, I can write in this entire program in a single line. What is the thing I need to do here? So let us take as the yes. Okay, so sum of, I'm converting it to the list first. Sum of list of. Sorry, I have printed the ls, so that is I have got output as that. Okay, so like while practicing only you can use all those things. So what is the thing I need to do? I have done first I have done the input. After taking the input, what I have done, I have simply split the input. Okay, so after splitting, I have used the map function. Okay, what are the function I have written here? Not an integer. If I pass the list means it will automatically convert to the list, each and every single element to the list. If I use the is upper, okay, if that particular character is an upper, it will automatically it will take the particular element. Okay, so what is the thing happen here? So it will automatically converting the each and every element, mapping the each and every element. So here I have used the map, so that is why it is mapping each and every element to the integers. So first I have converted all the elements to the from the string to the integers. Then map returns the map object. For that purpose, I have converted to the list. I have got the list of integers. Then using the sum, what I can do, list of integers can be simply like added up using the sum function. Okay, list of elements can be summed up using the list function, sum function. Okay, in that way, instead of integer here, you can use any of the function, any of your interested function. Okay, for example, if you want to convert them each and every element to the list here, whatever the input I have got, I want to convert each and every element to the list of list. Simply I can use that. So simply what I can do is the list. I can convert that list and viewing the output. You can use predefined functions or user defined functions, anything. You can also create your own function. For example, I can also create the lambda function. Okay, I can also create the lambda function. Okay, I can use the instead of getting that thing. If I want to get only the first character, take each and every element which is getting as the output and take the first character. If you observe here, I have got two elements. Instead of that, I need to get only the single element. Instead of that, I want to get only the single elements. So simple, I can use the lambda function. Okay, what are the digit? What are the first digit is I have got? Everything has been separated. Okay, so what is the here? If you observe here, each and every element is an each and every element is a string here. If you observe here, each and every element is a string. What is the modification I need to do for inserting each and every element as the integer? Here I have inserted the single element as the string. If I want to insert it as the integer, what is the modification I need to do in this program? What is the modification I need to do for inserting this each and every single element as the integer? Don't give complete answer, give me the exact thing. What is the thing I need to convert to the integer? Yes. There are two different ways. Nagamani given one answer. Any other answers? So what is the thing I need to do here? Simply convert that particular thing to the integer. Let me take this single. Automatically each and every element is converted. So here integer is having only the single element. Okay, so integer can accept only single element. So here group of characters, sequence of data is returning by the map object. Okay, group of data is written by the map object. We can't convert the group of data as the integers. Okay, again we can't convert group of elements to the integers. Integer can take only the single element or single number or single number string. Okay, it can only convert in that way. Okay, everyone remember. Okay, Nagamani, you have given two answer. Map object can integer function can convert only the single element to the integers. Okay, so map object is returning the group of data. Okay, integer function can't accept the group of data. Okay, remaining. So list of int of li. So list of int of li, which is like the same thing. Li is the group of data. Okay, we can't convert the group of data into the integers, and we can't convert. So list of integer. So list integer of li is not accepting. So list of int of li will give the error. The other way is nothing but the, so the other way is nothing but the, so because it is returning an integer, other way is nothing but the, so here it is returning a string here, string integer. Okay, if it is string integer, then only it will accept. What they can do, whatever the lambda function it is, whatever the value the lambda function is returning, convert that to the integer. Okay, this is also not acceptable. Like int arguments must be a string. It is taking like other data. Okay, so only one possibility, I think so. I thought it is possible, but it is not accepting. Okay, the only possibility is nothing but simply convert that into the integer. What are the function it is creating? Let me leave it here. So you should remember. Okay, int object is not callable means what, sir? So int object is not callable is nothing but you are trying to call the function. Int object is not callable. Okay, int object is not callable is nothing but you can't call that particular integer. Okay. Set meaning. When did you got that particular like error, Sanjana, Sai Sanjana? If you can tell me what is the condition where when you have got that particular error means I will try to explain. Int object is not callable. I also didn't like, I'm not remembering when it will be getting there. Okay, so here like Saran, you have given the answer as the map of int comma group of elements. Good, that is also one way, but it is increasing the logic. Okay, so here what I'm taking only the single element from the each and every string. So from the 11 I'm taking one element, from the 12 I'm taking the first element, from the 56 I'm taking the first element. Okay, Nagman, I will try to explain. So map object is nothing but the, so as a syntax it defined. Okay, so it takes one function as the argument, first function as the argument, then I have to pass the sequence of data. I'm mapping the sequence of data to the particular function. I'm mapping every element inside the sequence of data to what are the function it is available here. Okay, so in that case, for example, we are having group of integer strings. We are having group of integer strings. If I want to convert that group of integer strings to the integers, okay, group of integer strings to the integers, then we can use the map function. Okay, instead of writing our own logic, what I'm doing is nothing but taking the group of integer strings which is stored inside the list. It is a group of data. I'm converting each and everything to the integer. Okay, simply map returns the map object. Simply I can convert it to the tuple or set or list. Okay, mostly I think we can convert to these three different types of data. Okay, map object returns the map. I can also use this particular thing over the loops. Directly I can use the map object over the loops. Okay, over the loops you can use that particular map object, or if you want to get the data means you can use the list or thing. Okay. Okay, I got it, Sai Sanjana. I will explain once again. Wait a second. Okay, what is happening here? So list of array is nothing but I have converted each and every list. What happened? So I have taken a group of characters 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is entire single string. I have splitted that thing for getting a group of data, which is nothing but the group of elements, which is nothing but the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on 10. Now I am having a list here. Now I am having a list here. Now what I am doing here, I am converting one by one. The element will be iterated over here. No need of using a loop. What is happening from the group of characters or group of elements, I will the map object will takes one by element and it will map to the function, whatever the function I have written here. Okay, I'm mapping to the int class. Okay, so what happened now? Each and every number has been converted to the integer. Okay, it can be predefined function, it can be user defined function, depending upon the requirement. I hope you should got like you should understand what is the purpose of the map. Mapping. Okay, mapping the group of elements to the specific function. Did you got it, Nagamani? So here what I am done here, so I am mapping. So what is the thing? So I am taking the group of elements. So 11, 11, 12, here I have taken group of data. I am completely, it has been converted to the list, and I am mapping. Here I have written a function. What is the function I have written? Take this element. So it is returning, first it is returning the 11. In that 11, take the 0th element. I have written a function. So take the element as the 11 and return the first element, first character from the group of element. Like that, it is iterating about the group of things. First, it is written the 11. From the 11, it returns the 1. From the 12, it is 2. From the 5, it is 5, 6, 7, and so on. From the 13, it is 1. Okay, so it is taken the first single element. Okay, so like few times we will be getting an error called let me take it as one of the error, common error. Mostly we'll get this common error, object list int object is not callable. Okay, int object is not callable. Int object is not callable. When you will get this particular error is nothing but the, if you are trying to iterate a particular data type which is not iterable. Okay, if you are trying to iterate a particular data type which is not iterable. Okay, which is nothing but the, so list is iterable, string is an iterable, tuple is iterable, and remaining. What are the things we have said? Those are iterable. While coming to the integers, floating, complex, integer, complex, as well as the floating numbers, as well as the boolean. These are non-iterable. Okay, non-iterables. If you're trying to iterate over the iterables, then you will be getting an error called int object is not callable. For example, for I in 55. For I in 55, if you are trying to print the, if you are trying to iterate over the non-iterable, which is nothing but you will get a common error called int object is not iterable. Okay, one of the error is nothing but the int object is not iterable. So here some text group of elements. Okay, some text group of elements. So in that case, you will be getting an error call. You will be getting an error call 50, like int object is not iterable. So in that case, let me take as the sum comma L1. So mostly not callable is nothing but the sum of 12 comma. So let me take the same code. Sai Sanjana. Actually, you got correct answer here. So, but you didn't got the int object is not callable. So mostly, if you are trying to call that integer object means, so here we have got another type of error call object is not iterable. In the I think in the lower version, the error is nothing but the object is not callable. So recently, how installed the Anaconda or previously how installed? Sai Chandra, can you give me that so that I can confirm? Recently. Can you give me the version by checking the version of the Python? Using these things, can you give me using the Xcode in this code? Can you give me the output? What is the version you are using so that I can confirm? Okay, the error message few times it will be updated. So mostly it is not callable or it is not iterable. Object is not iterable is one of the common error if you are trying to iterate over the non-iterables. Okay, it is the best message. Okay, so once I will look but that error when you will be getting that particular error. Mostly in that case callable, not iterable. Okay. Is it clear to everyone? 3.8.8. Okay. Okay. Previously also I have got the common errors in some cases. So mostly callable is nothing but you can't call or nothing but if you are trying to get the indexing values. Int object is not subscriptable. I'm getting an error, not subscriptable. Okay, so one more array is nothing but the subscriptable if you are trying to get the values which are non indexing values. Okay, so these are the common errors. So I will look into it when you will be getting a not callable, and I will try to if the same thing is okay. If there is other thing is, I will try to explain you tomorrow. Okay, so one thing is nothing but the we have seen map. I hope everyone understood till now map when we have to use the map. Okay, so what are the things we have discussed till now? It reduces the lines of code as well as the time for writing the code. Instead of using the instead of writing more lengthy code, we can use the single code. Is it clear to everyone? So that I can continue to the next one. If anything I need to explain once again means you can ask me, I will try to explain, or otherwise in the last half an hour. Yes or no? Anything is fine. Okay. So remaining, I got only one response. If you stuck at any point of time, I will try to help you. If you responded, okay. Okay. Now we can see one more map like thing. One more map like function which is nothing but the filter. Okay. Yes. Good. Okay. Good, sir. The same thing. The same syntax for the map versus the iter. Okay, the same syntax for map versus the filter also. Filter and map also having the same syntax. Okay, if the function returns the true, automatically the value will be inserted. If the particular condition is false, automatically it will neglect the particular element. For example, if you want to insert 1 to 100 numbers, if I want to insert 1 to 100 even numbers into a list, okay, or nothing but from the group of numbers previously we have created. Let us take the same case. Let us the same case. Did I written the question here? Okay, take the sum of the even numbers. Okay, even numbers from the previously we have summed all the elements. Okay, previously what we have done, we have added all the numbers. Here what I'm doing here, only sum the even numbers. Okay, in that case what I have to do, I have to check the condition. Okay, in that case what I have to do, I have to check the condition. Filter returns the filter object as returns the map object. Let us see what is happening. So simple filter. I think the above condition will be worked for filter or not. Let us check. So what is its condition? I have to check input. Sorry, lambda. So let us create an input function. So lambda x colon x percentage 2 equal to 0. For the filter object, so for the filter object, what you have to do is that it should return either true or false. If it is true, the input will be available. If it is not true, the input will not be available. Let us create the input. Okay, so what is the thing I'm doing here? I have created a function, it returns true or false. Definitely filter function should create what are the function we are creating inside the filter, it should return definitely true or false. Okay, if the particular thing is true, the element will be inserted to the filter data. If the particular element is false, automatically the data will not be inserted. Okay, let us take the previous data, what group of data 11, 12, what is that data I have written? Let us take the group of data. Okay, so it returns the object. Here I didn't store any of the object. Yeah, phi equal to the same thing. What happen if I convert that particular thing to the integers? So at least what is happen is that entire filter object will be converted to the list. What happened if I observe here? If the particular number is an even number, it is available. If the particular number is an odd number, it has been eliminated. Filtering the data. Simple. Okay, definitely the thing should return either true or false. Okay, that function definitely should return true or false. You have to construct a function in such a way that it should return either true or false. Okay, for example, previously we are having a character called s. For example, if I want to get all the, let us take the same thing. So direct I'm converting to the list. Okay, from the characters, yes, from the string, yes, I need to get all the uppercase characters. From the character, yes, what I need to do is I need to convert each and every character to the uppercase character. So x dot is upper. Is upper returns. So if that character is upper, automatically it returns the true. If that particular character is lower, it will return the false. Yeah, fine. All uppercase characters will be, sorry. So here, sorry, I have declared s as the number, I think so previously. Let us declare the s equal to, let us take this. Okay, all uppercase characters will be available. If that thing is true, as I said previously, true is nothing but if that particular thing is an if except 0, whatever the output it is returning, it will automatically insert. Okay, so same thing, similar to the map function. Is it clear to everyone? Good. Okay. Okay, while coming to there is one more function called reduce. It is not a predefined function. We have to import that particular. If the object is not callable, error again. So you have to declare the yes size, Sanjana. I think previously you didn't declare the yes. You have modified the yes object, yes variable. So that is why previously I have got it is not iterable. The same error is like callable. So Sai Sanjana, are you logged in from laptop or desktop or from mobile? Okay, we have left with the one more final thing is the reduce. We can discuss the reduce in tomorrow's class. Okay, by tomorrow we can end the Python concepts, total Python concepts. We have left with the object-oriented programming language. One of the final, one of the paradigm in programming languages. So till now, till yesterday, what are the things we have? So till yesterday, what are the things we have discussed? All things comes under the like procedure-oriented programming language. So today, what are the things we have discussed? Those are nothing but the functional programming. What are the things we are writing in single letter? Single line. Okay, tomorrow we can discuss one more paradigm called object-oriented programming language. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for being with us in the day 16 session of data science using Python internship training program. So if you are having any doubts, means you can stay back and ask. If you are not having any doubts, means you can leave. Okay. So Sai Sanjana, I think if you are